Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper-Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G Ultra Save is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone, across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI Super Resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best, presented by MediaTek and powered by JioGames. My name is Crips, and joining me is Floki, and we're going to be taking you through the games today. We have 5 best of ones, which means new teams will get a chance to show their talent today and hopefully qualify for the finales tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, you'll be having 3 best of 3s as well. So these teams will get multiple chances to qualify, but this time they only get one chance and they need to make it count. We have 13 teams in the server with us. Only 8 teams will qualify. So the best thing that you can do to make sure that your odds are not very bad is to just stay alive, let the first few teams die, and according to my calculations, you only need to outlive 5 teams. So, yep, be careful early on and don't drop in the vicinity of each other in the middle of nowhere, because right now I see Team Thopu along with team number 2 running alongside each other. One of them even took the zipline to go towards Sentosa, and none of them had guns. They just spotted each other, but they couldn't fight each other. That was actually very comical to look at. We don't usually get to see things this often.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes against common sense to drop together, especially in a map which is not densely populated, where you're not going to be having a lot of players. So it makes more sense to go to your designated drops, weapons, gear up, and prepare for the fight come later on instead of trying to take fights, right? Right. I mean, it's even instead of trying to take early fights, what you could instead do with the time is drop into some place, Bhima Shakti Strip, or maybe towards Pochanok or Factory. Quickly loot up the area, get yourself a decent amount of glue balls, medkits, weapons, and then just make your way inside the circle. Try and play the zone properly. Probably go towards a Peak, Bhima Shakti Strip, Pochanok. But yeah, it seems that many a times when you do that, you could end up being third party. But in this case, teams are not really going to be playing that way. Teams are not really going to look to third party each other because it's quite early on.
Yep, you're right. It is early days, and I don't think it will be wise for them to pick up fights right now. But I don't think team number 9 has a choice. They walk into Sentosa Island, or rather just say they roll into Sentosa Island on their vehicle. They were trying to go up towards the fire brigade area, or whatever that compound is called. I call it a fire brigade because it's red and it has a massive pole in between, but you might choose to call it something else. And the moment they spot teams over there, they take a U-turn and go off towards the main residential area of Sentosa Island. And again, there is another team over here. I don't think they've spotted Team 2, but they won't be stopping in the residential area. They keep on going all the way until they reach the lighthouse.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you don't want to be the team that is rotating in late. You make your way towards lighthouse. You get there nice and early. It gives you a good vantage point as well. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what Team Thopu is thinking of here. I mean, they go all the way away from the center of the circle. Yeah, I mean, that's their name, that's what they decided on, Thopu, so I'm just gonna oblige and call them by the name. But yeah, it does not make sense to me as to why they would rotate outwards towards Sentosa and going inwards. Maybe they are doing some next level zone play prediction, and if the circle closes in here, we're gonna look pretty stupid. But odds of that happening are very unlikely. I mean, just look at this map. There is no one in Bhima Shakti Strip. Absolutely no one. Clock Tower is also completely empty. This goes against, common logic. Like, you would expect teams to drop in closer to the center, but no. Teams are instead choosing to go towards Sentosa, Mars Electric, Pochanok. I mean, this is not what you see in a regular game of Free Fire.
I mean, Pochanok and Mars Electric are still understandable, but we don't usually see 3 teams drop into Sentosa Island now, do we? That's a rare circumstance. That doesn't happen very often. Koratua, obviously, it sometimes does get contested in very populated lobbies, but it is very rare to see the entire northwestern part go uncontested. I did not see anyone in Graveyard, Observatory, Shipyard, in that vicinity. Nobody at all. But over here, we might have our first battle for a Parasamond, or I didn't really get that name, but he has managed to knock out Assassin SK. Now, luckily for him, Assassin SK has Soul Reaper next to him. So he's going to keep the Grim Reaper at bay and protect him from death, at least for now. Although I don't think Team 4A will let go of this situation, and they will probably want to capitalize on that one knock that they just managed to get. One of their teammates, Arman, is already closing in the distance, whereas Paracommando, oh, that's the name, Paracommando. Okay, never mind. I was calling him Paracetamol all this time, but my bad. Paracommando, he's providing backup from behind. He takes a little bit of damage, but that's okay because he's managed to knock down Soul Reaper once again. And Assassin SK is just so busy in fighting, he probably won't get a chance to revive his teammate. Yep, now his teammate is going to relay the information to him. He's going to tell him that Arman is very close to him, and they've managed to close the distance, and you can't really continue to stay up there. You need to get down and fight, or maybe wait for your enemies to make a mistake. But I'm not sure if those guys will make the mistakes that Assassin SK is hoping that they make. There is a nade also primed up, and the nade, it's going to go perfectly underneath his feet, and yep, that's going to be the end of Team Silent Assassin.
Absolutely. I mean, Team Silent Assassin over there, I think the player towards the end was not even isolating and taking those 1v1s. In that situation, that's all you can really hope for. It's all you can really do. But he was not doing that, and as a result, he just gets flogged by both of those players who are still alive. I mean, you do want to isolate 1v1s, right? Especially in a mode like Duo, you don't want to take a fair fight ever. If you can, maybe you have something like a sniper rifle and the enemy has an SMG. Maybe in that case, you want to take a one-on-one. But most of the time, you want to try and play together. You want to try and peek together, or at the very least, bait each other out. Because otherwise, it's going to be quite difficult to survive. I have to say, though, Duos is one of those modes where, because it's not a full squad and because it's not solo either, it's really hard to play it. In the conventional way. Like in solos, you just rotate and early, you can account for yourself. But in duos, all of a sudden, you have a partner to think about. How exactly do you use this partner? I think if teams try to answer this question, if the teams try to answer, how is it that as duos we can make the most out of our players? I think they're going to be in a good spot. They're going to be able to contest each other, and they're going to be able to get those rotations in nice and early.
I mean, that's a good parallel to draw between solos and duos, but then in squads and duos, there's even more. I mean, there's more members in squads, so division of responsibility is easy. Two of them can, keep an eye on the enemies nearby, whereas one of them can revive a dead teammate. And that way, division of responsibility is easier. Now you have less number of players, but the same amount of responsibility and the same number of things that need to be done in order to make sure that you're safe and sound. So, yeah, that also plays a massive role. And of course, I mean, duos mode is a little more complicated than solos and squads. In fact, the level of skill required in duos mode, I wouldn't say it's higher or lower, but it's a completely different skill set to work with only two people. I mean, it's not like you can go in solo YOLO, but you also got to take care of someone, and you have one person to take care of. It's not like you have a squad, so that in case you fail to take up the responsibility, someone else will pick it up. No, that's not how it works. So yeah, it's a weird mode to play in, but it is something that facilitates trade tracking a lot more easily.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to be trading, you want to be making sure that you don't give up your teammates for free. You want to use your resources wisely as well, because towards the end game, that is when those placement points and that is when those skill points are really going to start mattering. In this mode, it's going to be a lot more about placement. So, of course, rotations and surviving are going to be very imperative. In some cases, you might even say that it's better to avoid fights entirely and just drop somewhere near Bhima Shakti Strip, Peak, Pochanok, any area that is close to the center of the map, and just stay there as long as you possibly can. Play extremely defensively, just try and turtle around. Yeah, I mean, and you kind of want to play the meta. You don't really want to go out there, force too many kills, because you're not going to get rewarded as heavily for that. So, yeah, I mean, I hope these teams realize that. I mean, it certainly seems that they do, because we haven't seen a lot of action, in this game so far. I mean, that one reason is because we have only 24 players on the server, but the other one is also this, that there is really no incentive to go for kills early on. All the action is more geared towards the late game, and the third and fourth circles start showing. That is when you see some fights start brewing out. But Peak is looking as if it's going to accommodate some action here in a bit. I'm not sure if it's ready for it though, because I do see almost 3 teams in close proximity of each other here in Peak. And as soon as they know, as soon as Team 3 knows that fight is happening over here in the double balcony house, they can look to rotate in and try and claim up all those kills for themselves.
They might just be in prime position to the third party, but they will only be able to third party when these two teams start fighting. Now, Team KE did lob in a couple of grenades early on, but those grenades did not really do a lot of work. Team 2 have grenades of their own that they want to deploy over here, and Arman will be able to take down Pinder. He will finish him off with another nade as well, and that is great, because now Paracommandos and Arman, they both can rush in together, and even if they lose one of the players, it's okay, because they will eventually be able to trade them out. Pinder has already escaped, on the other hand. After losing one of his teammates, he's going to make a run for it. Now, luckily enough, team number 3 is not that close to them, so they can still, be comfortable with the fact that they won't get third party just yet. But they don't finish the team. And Pinder steals a car and just rooms away into distance, riding off into the sunset. But he doesn't really have a happy ending just yet.
Exactly. He might run into Team 3 over here who've been perched up and they have the weaponry to work with as well to take down this car. The truck is, of course, I think it's the most tankiest of all the cars. It takes the most damage. So as a result, you can drive it a little bit longer. The only problem is it's not as fast as a sports car, I think. Or am I wrong about this, Chris? Because I believe
You're right.
I believe. Yeah. Okay. So it is true, right? The truck is slower than the sports car.
Yeah, the
Because
truck
I've
is
heard
slower than the
somewhere
sports car, but
that
I mean,
everything is the
it's,
same and it's just a different skin.
I mean, it depends upon placebo also, right? The truck has
Yeah.
better handling, slightly better handling. So even if you drive it just as quickly, it feels better. The sports car, the turning is slow, so you can only drive it straight, and in order to turn, you need to actually hit the brakes in order to turn
Oh,
properly.
I see.
In the truck, you can continue doing so, but it drifts a little. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I am a shitty driver, that's why I don't know the difference. Or maybe because I never need to use a car, I'm almost always fighting on foot. So maybe that's why. But then, yeah, I mean, no matter what vehicle you use, it doesn't matter what the properties of the vehicles are. They both make just as much as noise. So you're equally vulnerable. If you're in a car or if you're in a sports car, the only thing that actually is different is the monster truck. And look at look at Team KE. They don't even need any vehicles. They just have their guns and they will be able to clean up shop. They just picked up 2 more kills, and with that, they are now the kill leaders. So yeah,
Absolutely.
all
Great
vehicles are
use
the
of
same except for I'm sorry.
yeah.
All vehicles are the same except for the bike and the monster truck. Yeah, those two are different. Otherwise,
monster
the
truck
cars are the
definitely.
same. Yeah. But let's be honest, tuk-tuks are the worst.
Yeah, tuk-tuks are the worst, man. They give you the most exposure and they give you the slowest speed. So you really never want to be caught driving in a tuk-tuk. You will most certainly be eliminated. Much like Team 8 over here, who, if they don't play their cards right, could get eliminated by the hands of Team Wins. Now, Krishna FF has a Groza in his hand, and we've spoken, we've praised the Groza many a times, and especially in the duos mode, when you can only carry 2 weapons, the Groza is the perfect weapon to have, right? You got that long-range stab potential, you got that mid-range firefighting potential. It's also got great damage. Overall, it's just one of those guns that you can use in any situation, and you can really bring out the best in it with more and more attachments. So yeah, they do have the superiority at this range, but let's see if they can put it to good use, because for the time being, Team 5 are still alive.
Team 5 is indeed still alive, but maybe Team Wins over here wants to stay not for long. They probably want to get them out of the way right now. If they don't, well, they're going to have to fight them and race the zone at the same time. And I don't think that's a very good idea. We are about to have the 4th circle pop on the screens. 50 seconds, and now this one will start to move. Team Wins over here. They've spotted out team number 4 on top as well. So now they're surrounded. They have Team 5 on one side, Team 4 on the other side. What do? They don't want to be caught in this awkward sandwich. Luckily for them, Team number 5 is moving along the edge of the zone and trying to run away from Bhima Sakti. And maybe Team 8 will follow in the same footsteps. But I think Team 4 might just have caught onto them, and they might try to chase them. And if they try to chase, they will not only find Krishna FF and his teammate, but they will also find Binder and M Lord. So yeah, that should be great. But Joker over here, all by himself, I don't think he can afford to pick up a 1v2 battle just now. That too when he isn't in the zone himself. So probably he might want to go to the zone first, capture a compound, and then stop the teams from getting favorable positions.
Yeah, most certainly. You kind of want to be the person who gets in there and is able to defend his compound. Of course, it's going to be quite difficult for Joker to do so, but for the time being, we're going to turn our attention towards Team Wins. Oh no, Roshan has been knocked out, but his teammate is going to come in the nick of time to save him. So thankfully, it being a long-range engagement and him having the cover of the signal tower means that there's no follow-up, but yeah, he's eventually going to have to worry about getting in there because he is going to cross paths against Team 5. Maybe they drop a couple of glue balls over here and look to get inside, but no. They're instead going to use the natural elevation to their advantage, use that as cover, and then make their way inside the circle. Team 5 also realized that, so they are also going to start making a move here. Let's see which team is it that makes it inside first and is able to keep the other teams from coming in. In the meantime, Binder, the last surviving member of Team 2 Grips, he's going against Team A, against Binder. Binder versus Pinder. I'm not quite sure who wins here, but the grenades are going to come lobbed in. Yeah, the grenades are going to be lobbed in, and Lundy is going to be the one who picks that kill up, courtesy of the Battlefield rifle. So, thanks to them, they're going to be able to win this fight out. But Krishna Free Fire, in the meantime, is going to be able to eliminate Joker. Joker was also the final surviving member of his team. Thankfully, because Joker got eliminated in 8th place, this still means that he's going to be making it to tomorrow. Unfortunately, can't say the same for Pinder, who's been eliminated in 9th place.
I still can't go to get over Pinder versus Binder. We're all. I mean, the only thing missing is Parminder and a tall glass of lassi. That's all you need to make this day perfect. Team Thopu over here, though, they can see Team 5 players try to get in closer. MP40 in the hands of Binder. He did cause a lot of damage, but then he's up against a double vector, which definitely will cause trouble. Binder already knocked out. Wait, who even shot him? Roshan from some other team shot him down, and now he's knocked out over here just outside this house. Team A will get eliminated on the other hand because Krishna FF will be able to knock out one of the last members as well. And just like that, these guys are out. Team Thopu was trying to battle them, but then they realized, nope, our kills were stolen away by some other team. Who was it? They will be asking. And they will soon get the answer to that question as well.
Absolutely. I think it was Team Wins who got those kills. Weren't they?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, them getting all these skills is going to be fantastic. I like how there's an SMG. He has the SMG ability, the one that reduces recoil, but I see a cruiser in his hands. But for the time being, we're going to turn attention towards Team 7, Paracommando and Arman. These guys were the ones who was using the double balcony compound to gatekeep some of these other teams coming in. And now they've made their way even further inside the circle. But yeah, Crips, this is going to be a bit weird crossfire because... I mean, it's not coming through for them. They try to make it work, but it seems that team number 1's second member just does not have a good vantage point to work with. That glue wall completely putting a stop to all those plans by Team 1. And now TGG is going to be left to his own devices against multiple two-man squads here, and I don't think he has what it takes to clutch this one out.
He's going to have to stay hidden for the longest time and then strike when the time is right. But he's been spotted already by Aryan. Aryan took a couple of pot shots at him, but I don't think it's the wisest decision to fight TGG right now. There's bigger fish to fry, and that fish is called Team KE. We have Paracommando and Arman, both of them on the edge of the house, and Paracommando manages to knock out Aryan, finish him off as well, and now it's just down to Aniket. He somehow survived the quick sniper shots, and he's going around the edges. They're playing ring around the rosies with this game, but the zone will soon force him to come in, and yeah, he's gonna have to get those roses planted on his grave because he's dead right now. KE though, still on top of the hill. They have the terrain advantage naturally. They also have 7 kills, which makes them the kill leaders. But will they be able to finish off these opponents over here? It's TGG against Team Thopu in a 1v2. He doesn't have a lot of health to work with. Luckily, the nade won't do much, but the MP5 certainly will.
Yeah, closing in on that distance, the MP5 certainly does do a lot of work, especially if you aim it at the head. You know, getting those quick headshots means you're going to get a quick knock, but in his case, he was the only member surviving, so he ends up dying. Now it's going to be a 2v2 between Team 9 and Team 7. Team 7, they're the ones who are on a hot killing streak over here. I can see the fire above their serial numbers, and most certainly they can make something happen here at this distance, especially Paracommando with the MP40. Professor is lying on the ground. I like the tactic, but eventually he's going to be spotted by Paracommando and he will also go down. Wait a second, Paracommando's on his feet. Can Arman bait him? Yes, he can. Great shot by him with the M82B. The Booyah is going to go the way of Team Kraken Esports. I have to say, great stuff there by Commando. You know, not really afraid of getting the trade in that position. He knows his teammate has a good angle. It's all about setting him up. It's all about making sure he's the one who connects that shot and he's the one who secures the Booyah with the sniper rifle. Great stuff by Kraken Esports.
Yeah, now you know why they are called Kraken. They've got 8 arms and yeah, Kraken only has 1 head, but they do have 8 eyes as well. So 8 arms, 8 eyes, and a bucket load of frags to go along with it. 10 frags, they reach double digits, which means the 450 points from the Booyah combined with these 100 points will put them in a league above the others. I'm excited to see what Kraken Esports bring to the table tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're going to be the teams to watch. They're going to be the teams to team to look out for. Of course, you know, in duos mode, when you're against many other teams, you know, things can go haywire. We've seen a couple of times in the past as well where teams have done really well on day 1, but when it comes to day 2, they're just not able to keep up the same performance. Multiple reasons. You sometimes it's the full lobby, sometimes it's just bad plays by them, or maybe a faulty understanding of the overall game. Depending on where they've dropped, whatnot. But yeah, we should hope team number 7 to perform. I'm hoping that Kraken Esports brings in the same kind of caliber, brings the same level of play that they've brought in today, and are able to perform at the same level tomorrow as well. Because they're gonna have to do that, Crips. You need to get to top 2 to make it to the playoffs. At the very least, if you don't want to have wasted your time, you want to get top 4. It might be a waste of time for some people. It might not. Depends on if you're willing to learn from these mistakes or if you're just here for the money. But yeah, most certainly, if you want a part of the money, then getting anything less than top 4 is going to be disappointing. And for that, you're going to have to maintain the standard of play.
Yeah, and you need to keep raising those bars above and above. You need to keep making them touch the sky. You need to make sure that you make your standards rise and eventually raise your gameplay as well to that level, because that's the only way you will become champions. And this tournament, Free Fire Gaming Masters, it is designed to make sure that these underdog teams get a chance to show off their talent and get a platform to showcase their skills. That's what our objective over here is, to build the Indian esports scene from the grassroots levels up. And hopefully we will be able to find some really talented players who can make us proud. For now, it is going to be Kraken Esports who walk away with the win, but they are just one of the 8 teams that have qualified for the games tomorrow. We will be seeing them again tomorrow, and hopefully in the playoffs as well. For now, we're going to go on a short break. We'll be back in just a little bit with the second game of the day. You guys are watching the Free Fire Gaming Masters, presented by MediaTek and powered by JioGames. Keep watching, and we'll be back really, really soon.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G Ultra Save is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone, across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals, and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, देवी और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best 2021 powered by JioGames में मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है क्रिप्स और हम हमारे सेकंड क्वालिफायर मैच के लिए यहाँ पे आ चुके हैं। ऑफ कोर्स हमें इन मैचेस को क्वालिफायर मैचेस इसलिए बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पे से जो टॉप 8 टीम्स है वो कल बेस्ट ऑफ 3 में खेल के प्ले-ins के लिए क्वालिफाई कर सकती है या फिर प्ले-ऑफ्स के लिए क्वालिफाई कर सकती है। That's why these matches are going to be important क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो भी टॉप 8 टीम्स है वो कल के बेस्ट ऑफ 3 में खेल पाएगी। And Crips, well, flight path is in front of you, so is the high tier loot zone. Give me your thoughts on the game so far.
Well, we might just see our first ever high tier loot zone battle. Two teams heading towards Bullseye, Team 11 and Team 2. Although Team 11 is going to take a U-turn and go towards Shipyard instead, it's still close by, so we can still see a lot of fights. A lot of teams haven't dropped out yet, and they're just starting to descend from the plane. That means the areas of Kotatua, Carrot, and Cape Town will be very heavily contested. Maybe we might even see a couple of teams go towards Sentosa.
Yeah, I think especially for team number 9, or at least team number 16, the only saving grace here is to maybe make their way towards Sentosa, but even that is too late now. They're surrounded on all sides by teams, so they're going to have to take a gamble and make their way towards Skeleton, where they hope that they're able to control that location and get themselves some good loot. But back towards Milk Crips, ऐसा लगता है कि यहाँ पे भी हमें early game fight देखने को मिलने वाली है। टीम 10 के दोनों प्लेयर्स यहाँ पे हाई ग्राउंड पे खड़े हैं, तो डेफिनेटली जो राल्फ है, आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट हिज नेम इज फ्रॉम टीम 12, वो यहाँ पे अच्छे से, sorry, his name is actually Rohit. Never mind. जो रोहित है यहाँ पे, he is going to be inside the yeah, he's going to be inside the warehouse और उनके लिए यहाँ पे 1v2 लेना थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा।
कैसे पढ़ लिया यार रोहित, गॉड हो आप, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आया था देख के। And ठीक है, I mean maybe your reading skills are better than mine and this font is supportive of you, but no, it seems like Rohit will die the moment we spoke about him. Caster's curse. Or maybe it's a blessing for boys, but they will be able to get the first kill. They ace out the entire team Hydro, and maybe he was the only person from his team.
Absolutely. I mean, your Dream Boy and Root Boy, both the boys inside mill, just chilling,
The boys
establishing control over the area. They are gonna have to worry about Team 5, who seem to be moving in their direction. Riverside is a good place to drop, especially in this particular. How shall I say this? In this particular scenario, you know, specifically when not a lot of teams are going to come, because Riverside gives you easy access towards Peak and it also gives you easy access towards Mill. So, you know, rotations to those two areas are, of course, very, very important. Even Bhima Shakti Strip, I mean, you can just follow the road, you know, use the cover, and you pretty much guaranteed to be, you know, left out from the left side. And then the hills on the right side will make sure that no one from there is going to be able to kill you. But yeah, you know, the rotating towards from Riverside to Bhima Shakti and Peak is very easy. So I actually like teams that drop in there. Of course, it's even easier to rotate to Peak from Kotatua. But yeah, Kotatua is not one of the best drops because teams tend to drop in Peak and then they tend to gatekeep you and prevent you from getting in. So yeah.
I mean, it all depends on the kind of circle that forms. I mean, sure, Riverside rotations can be a little easier because usually it is not a very populated zone as compared to the other areas like Observatory and whatnot. But then that isn't always the case, and it really depends on what the plane path is like and what the first circle is like. So yeah, that's what your decisions need to be based on. And sometimes you don't have enough information to take a decision. So yeah, you're gonna have to gamble. Then yeah, I agree. Riverside might be one of the most safer gambles as compared to Kota or Carroton, but it is not completely risk-free. Nothing ever in this game can be 100% risk-free. Yeah,
Absolutely.
the only risk-free thing is the choice that you have to make before you start the game. That is your choice of processor and your choice of internet. Picking up MediaTek processors, that's a very safe choice. You will almost,
Absolutely.
not even almost, you will always have decent specs. So yeah.
Yeah, especially the Helio G series, designed specifically for gaming. If you are someone who fancies himself, you know, playing a lot of games on your phone, do consider that. Or if you're looking for something that's going to be future-proof, the Dimensity processors are 5G ready. So when the 5G SIM card comes, you don't have to change your phone. For the time being, though, we're going to turn our attention back towards Sentosa Island, where Team Unlay is going to be taking a fight against Team 15. OP Strike and Mustafa both are choosing to run away from this one, but in fact, Strike is going to turn around and take down Mogul. Mogul is going to go down here, and now it's going to be a 2v1 fight for Team 15's second member, and he's going to start making a run for it. I think his name is Skyholic, and yeah, he's making his way back towards safety. Let's see if he can get out of this one alive. I mean, at this range, it doesn't seem that Team Manly are going to chase him, but Strike is proving me wrong with the Parafel. At this distance, he certainly can land shots with that rifle, but yeah, at least Team 15's member is able to keep himself alive. Not for much longer though, because I do think Team 9 are going to start moving in.
I don't know if his name is Skyholic or Shivolic, but yep, I hope he's
Oh.
bulletproof. That's something that he cannot be addicted to, hopefully. But they are still going to chase him down. Mustafa and Strike on hot pursuit. They're trying to surround him, and they have spotted him as well. They just got a glimpse of him, and he lands a nice shot with the M82B. 140 damage done, which means this guy is barely surviving, and Shivalik needs to get away from this area. He's trying to hide behind that little fence. He crosses it and goes towards the low ground, hoping that they won't follow him over there. If he can get towards the blue containers, he should be safe for just a few more minutes. But they are still relentless in their pursuit. They continue chasing him down. He's already entered the dockyard area of Sentosa. There's nowhere else to go from here. This is the dead end. If you want to get outside of this area right now, then you're going to have to probably swim your way into the main island. But I don't think that is something that Shivalik can afford to do with 0 medkits and 45 HP.
Yeah, I mean, most certainly, going into the water is going to be a death sentence for him, so he's much better off just trying to live over here. I mean, the first zone has shown itself, so if you could quickly have a look at that, we'll know exactly how Shivholik is positioned and if he's going to be able to make it past the first circle. That is what the aim of the game is going to be, right? You want to survive. You don't want to be the one taking fights because fights result in kills, and kills don't give you that many points. You also open yourself up to being third party, but that's a different story. For the time being, the Jester, all by his lonesome in Cape Town, is going to get the first knock onto, I think this is Joshua, and Joshua is going to go down. His teammate or his friend nowhere to be found, and now Jester is going to make this a 1v1 against Gaurav. Great stuff by Jester. Let's see if he can keep going forward and continue the streak. He has a double barrel shotgun, and he's very, very keen on taking this fight, but Gaurav has the high ground. He has the vantage point, so most certainly Jester could be in a world of trouble here if Gaurav decides to peek out. I mean, he sees him. Gaurav sees him. Now he's going to start taking the shots, and wait, he's actually missing. Oh no, he didn't take the time to aim it on his head, and Jester's going to survive. Drop the time turner and glue wall Crips. This is not the way Gaurav wanted it to turn out.
Yeah, but at least he's got Jester pinned now. He really can't afford to move out of this area, and Gaurav can actually chase him. But the zone is going to chase him first, and now Gaurav is forced to leave. Jester is still expecting Gaurav to come from the same area, from the direction in which he got shot, but little does Jester know that Gaurav is already towards the other side of the house. Maybe they will spot each other while crossing this little gap in between the houses and the basketball field, but Jester continues to move, and Gaurav hasn't really revealed his own position just yet. And now that he finally does, Gaurav is going to take way too much damage, and Jester is sharper with the aim. He's going to be able to eliminate Team No Destination.
Yeah, I mean, at that distance, the Woodpecker does certainly reign supreme against the Parafel. The Parafel is not one of the best weapons to go up against an actual sniper rifle. I know that the Woodpecker is classified. It's surprising. I actually went to the Garena website and checked there how the Woodpecker is classified. Strangely enough, it's considered to be an assault rifle. Maybe it's because it's semi-automatic. But yeah, Woodpecker is certainly better at long ranges than compared to the Parafel. Now, the Parafel, on the other hand, it is a good rifle, but you need attachments to make it work. You need those extended scopes and those stocks to kind of control the recoil and make sure you're able to actually connect shots in quick succession. Because otherwise, if you have to account for all of that, it can be a very difficult rifle to use properly. For the time being, though, it seems that Team 15's last surviving member, which was Shivholik, is going to get himself some medkits, and he is going to be able to survive for the time being. Now, this is something that I like. This is something that I think he's doing right. He's tanking blue zone damage, and in this particular mode, especially when you're so vulnerable to dying to people inside, being all by yourself, it makes a lot of sense for you to tank blue zone damage, maybe even of the second zone, to just try and get that extra positioning points up. It is going to be difficult to rotate in, yes, when the circle starts closing in, but if the odds favor you just even a little bit, you can make the most out of it, and you can come out on top because. If the circle closes in next to you, well, you can rotate in. If it doesn't close in next to you, you can wait for the fights to break out, and then you can try and have an impact so you can guarantee that 8th spot for yourself.
Yeah, and that's a viable strategy for the first few circles, but then eventually when the zone starts shrinking, you can't really stay outside the blue zone for long because then the damage becomes a bit too much. I feel like after the third circle, it is just very difficult to stay over there because you will choke to death really, really quickly. Jester somehow avoids all damage after deploying his Chrono Shield at the perfect time. Lands one shot onto his Nemesis, and he has to get the other one in.
Wow.
180 degree turns around, and he's gonna eliminate Piyush. Puts up a taunt as well. a nice little heart, signifying how much he loves Piyush for getting him the title of the kill leader.
Yeah. Jester is certainly living up to his name, entertaining us all, the casters and the viewers included. So kudos to him. But he is going to have to get top 8 if he wants to make it to tomorrow. Taunting is certainly not going to help you with that. So I hope for his sake he's actually able to get to top 8. Otherwise, all of this tomfoolery is going to make him look a little bit. Well, I
Silly.
shouldn't be the one to say, yes, silly is the better word to use. I was going to say stupid, but that sounded too harsh. Silly is the better word to use. He's going to look incredibly silly if he doesn't make it to the top 8.
But do you think he'll be able to do so? I mean, given his
That's
position, he isn't in too much danger. But then, as the circle starts closing in, one-man squads almost always find it more difficult to survive than the
yeah,
two-man squads. I mean, that is mostly a given. But
yeah,
let's
I
see how
agree.
he's able to fare.
I think he lived though. I think he lived, and I think he realizes that thing as well. He realizes the fact that it's going to be difficult for him to rotate in later. So he's trying to close his distance towards peak, and maybe occupy a place where he's not going to be so easily spotted, where he's not going to be very easily contested. And I like what Jester is doing. He's going to feel things out. He's going to wait until the blue zone reaches, the very end, and that's when he's going to start making his move. But in the meantime, Team 9 are going to continue chasing Jester. I think they might have spotted him out, or maybe it's just them trying to rotate into the same place as Jester is, and Jester could be in a world of trouble. Over here, though, it seems that the only team who's going to have a significant advantage going into the circle is going to be Team 2 because they are in the smack dab center of the map. Not the center of the current circle, but they are in Bhima Shakti Strip, which is pretty much the center of the map. So they should have a big advantage, at least rotating into the very next circle. We'll see how that pans out, though. For the time being, Team 1 and Team 9 in close proximity. Let's see if a fight actually breaks out here. If Jester pulls off another 1v2, I'm going to be very, very impressed, regardless of him closing in or not. But that time turn is going to come through, and Mustafa is not going to let him get away so easily. The M82B, it does a lot of work, Crips. It's one of the highest damaging sniper rifles in the game, and yeah, at this distance, Mustafa, he can certainly make good use of it, but he's going to get inside the zone first.
He's going to get inside the zone first, and that allows Jester to get away from this area. He's going to go along the edges of the zone, avoiding the damage and the fights, both. So now that Jester is out of the picture, the heroes are Team 13. They are going to be the ones who face Mustafa and Strike. And they might not be the only ones. There are other teams nearby on peak as well. So they might be, susceptible to third parties. That is, if in case they decide to fight right now. For now, though, I feel like Mustafa and Strike will just probably get in the zone first, heal themselves up, and take their sweet time preparing for the next rotation. Meanwhile, Team 13 holding the broken house. They will be close to the circle. They will keep an eye on whatever is going on elsewhere, and then they will decide when to move in accordingly.
Yeah. You don't want to be moving in too early because then you're the one that has to worry about getting backstabbed and all those shenanigans. But if you have the blue zone to back you up, you most certainly can. Now, this is one of the few times I've actually seen that ability being put to use, the one that gives you a bit of a shield ahead of your glue wall. But yeah, Team 6's one member is going to go down. Jackson is not going to be rezzed in time. The double barrel shotguns come in from Team 17, and they're going to be able to pick up 2 quick kills for themselves. MN being the one to find those. Sahil just supplementing his aggression there with the arm, but yeah, for the time being, we'll see what they're capable of. Team 17 they're both going to be perched up behind that glue wall for the time being, and they're going to keep themselves alive near the double balcony house.
But they won't be able to stay there for long. They have to abandon that house nonetheless. And they need to make their way towards the compound that Team 13 was holding. Even that compound isn't in the zone anymore. So they need to just get inside and hope that they have something to work with. The L-shaped house, the one near the petrol pumps, near the one compound that I like to call the God compound, that is still online. So if any team manages to capture that, then they have probably one of the best positions in the entire game. Even if you're on the other side of Bhima Shakti Strip near the silo and everything, then also you might not be in too much trouble. But over here, Cherry, he's gonna get punctured by Brood Boy. Is it Rude Boy or is it Brood Boy? I did see B-R-U-D in his name, but yeah, that's okay. I'm not gonna get into details a lot. But they do manage to eliminate a nice team over here and make their way into the zone. Team number 3 on the verge of entering will face someone else. But before that happens, we have some gatekeeping action over here. M was already killed by Noddy, his teammate Daredevil. He's looking to go elsewhere, but he just picked up a fight against Chester. So now that's 2 different teams that he's fighting, and I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, they both are gonna puncture him, and he also is gonna die. Daredevil surviving for just a little bit longer, taking too much
Yeah.
damage from Noddy and Sin-chan. Okay, I like this. It's not Shin-chan like we are used to calling it. It's Sin-chan. He commits crimes. He commits sins. So yeah, he's a sinner over here, and a pretty fun take on the innocent, cute little guy who just keeps on, playing with his dog and eats chocolate chip cookies all the time. So yeah, Daredevil does manage to knock out one of the cartoon characters, but the other cartoon characters, Noddy, the kid who has a plane, a taxi, and a boat at the age of 13. Yeah, that guy, he also has a bunch of guns now, and he's up against Daredevil, the blind Marvel hero who uses only sound to strike his enemies down. And speaking of strike,
Yeah.
we have OP Strike over here on the kill feed, picking up a bunch of kills on Team Generation X, and he managed to eliminate them as well on some other part of the map.
Yeah, and looks like Team Boys are also going to go down in the meantime. Jester's patience is going to pay off, and he's going to find himself in the top 8, Chris. So thankfully for him, he's made it into the top 8, and this means he's going to qualify for tomorrow. So maybe after this point, dying for him is not going to be that problematic. And so is Shivolic for the time, for that matter, Crips. I mean, even Shivolic is alive, and this guy lost his teammate at the very start of the game. So lots of one-man squads here living until the very, very end. Let's see who's it that gets the booyah, though. That's going to be extremely important because that should give us an idea as to which team we should be looking out for. In the meantime, Shivolic is going to be able to take out OP Strike, and Strike is going to go down. Now, Noddy, the guy with, like you mentioned, the plane, the car, and everything, every possible vehicle imaginable, is going to take a fight against Shivolic, but Shivolic will come out on top thanks to the Max 7 in his hands. The time turner popped as well. He's going to be able to pick up that kill, and now Jester, he's going to start closing in. He's against Killchore. Let's see if Killchore can actually steal some kills over here. He's not in a position to do so. In fact, at this point, the only thing he's going to be stealing are going to be bullets, and he's not going to be stealing them the ideal way. He's going to be stealing them by absorbing them in his chest or in his face or wherever it is that Jester decides to aim them. In the meantime, he's going to drop a glue wall. He's going to use a double barrel, but misses, and Jester is going to be quick to find the kill. He's going to heal himself back up. And now, yeah, he's even doing a little karate spin. Just to celebrate as to, yay, I'm all by myself and I made it into top 8. I'm so happy. But yeah, Shivolic is going to go down. Danab is going to be the one who takes him out. Now it's going to be a 2v1. Let's see if Jester has what it really takes to clutch this one out, Trips.
Chester, alone on the high ground, has the zone advantage for now. And if anyone tries to come up on this little hill, he might be in perfect position to stop them. Team 11 are trying to contest this area, but they are in a 2v1 battle. And I do not like the way they're splitting up. If they offer 1v1s to Jester, he will be able to steal this win. It's a 2v1. It's best if they face him together and just finish the deal right now, rather than offering him free 1v1s and giving him an opportunity to clutch the game. He does a lot of damage, and he's able to get the first knock. It's all down to the other guy over here. And I don't know if he's going to be able to kill Jester. He won't be able to do so. Dark Jungle gets eliminated, and the winners are Team Game of Dead. God Rider and the Nab over here are able to win against Jester, but that match could have gone south really fast. Jester's got the 1v1s. He could have clutched it out if he had a couple more seconds to heal himself, but he still manages to get to second place with the highest skills, so I think he should be pretty satisfied with whatever he's accomplished so far.
Absolutely. I mean, being in a one-man squad and getting yourself that many points is not something you see every day. And on top of that, I think if you're right about him having the highest number of kills in the game, then yeah, I'm certainly going to be impressed. A one man going up against 13 or maybe 12, I think it's 13 squads at the very start of the game against duos. It's not an easy task to survive this long. So yeah, he's made his way to tomorrow, but I do hope that he actually does have a partner, which is going to come in tomorrow. Otherwise, playing solo in tomorrow's best of 3 is most certainly going to spell death for him. Team Game of Death, though. I mean, they had the easiest time this game. It's almost like we weren't looking at them in the early game, and then in the late game, out of nowhere, they have the best position, and all of a sudden, they're able to get the booyah.
It's funny how they did not really have a lot of kills at the start because they were playing very passively, and then towards the end, as the circle started closing towards Vimasaki Strip, that's when they were really just shining quite a lot. So it's cool. But then, of course, Jester, he took on multiple squads. He was able to pick up 3 or 4 kills before the final circle even started, which means he's been active right from the start. And of course, he's gonna taunt everybody else. And I feel like the taunts do kind of go well with his persona, because he was able to prove himself as well. He was able to get into the top 2, which is great.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, getting into the top 2 is a bit of a hard ask, especially when you're all by yourself. But getting into the top 2, it should be a big boost of confidence for him. And I hope that confidence stays with him, because many a times you've seen players just play in a completely different manner on day 2, or continue playing in the same manner as they did on day 1. It doesn't work. In particular, I remember there was a player called Shizzy or Shazzy. They were getting so many kills on the very first day that we saw them, but the next day in the BO3, they were the first ones to be eliminated, and they didn't even end up getting top 4. So it's quite unfortunate to see that team. You don't want to be the guy that is, a one-trick pony, or is constantly doing the same thing again and again, because you open yourself up to being studied, and you open yourself up to being countered. And yeah, in that position, you also have to start thinking about, okay, my opponent's countering me. How do I counter his counter? And if you're caught thinking against players who've already done their homework and they're playing on instinct, you're going to be the one that falls behind. You're going to be the one that loses firefights.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to lose firefights. You don't want to lose games. You need to win them, or if not win them, at least get into the top 8. Tomorrow you'll need to do better and get into the top 4. So the stakes keep on getting higher and higher, and so does the threshold that you need to cross in order to qualify. For now, Team God of Death, they win the game, but Dark Jungle won our hearts. Don't worry anywhere though. You don't need to go anywhere, because we still have 3 more games left for the day. You're watching MediaTek presents Free Fire Gaming Masters, powered by JioGames. We'll be back after a very short break with the remaining 3 games of the day.
Experiences from this ultra-connected chip, featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवियों और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट 2021 पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स में। मेरा नाम है फ्लोकी, मेरे साथ है क्रिप्स और हम हमारी तीसरी मैप पे आ चुके हैं। इस बार प्लेन की उड़ान शुरू होगी सेंटोसा पे और खत्म होगी ग्रेवयार्ड की तरफ। हाइट लूट जोन बीइंग बुल्सआई। देखते हैं टीम्स यहाँ पे किधर डिसाइड करने का कहाँ पे ड्रॉप करने के लिए डिसाइड करती हैं। फिलहाल हमारे पास सिर्फ 14 टीम्स है सर्वर में, सो हम होपिंग कि अर्ली गेम थोड़ा पैसिव हो। I'm hoping कि सारी teams अच्छे से अपने आप के लिए loot ढूंढ पाए, gear ढूंढ पाए, and then they start taking fights. But Crips, take it away, man. You're the guy who
नहीं
sees things better than I do.
नहीं 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 फ्लो की ये क्या मांग रहे हो तुम? आप चाहते हो कि अर्ली गेम पैसिव हो? ये क्या हो गया यार? ये किसको बिठा दिया यार? ये फ्लो की नहीं है, ये कोई बाल ब्रह्मचारी को बिठा दिया मेरे सामने। मेरे को तो जो फ्लो की मालूम है वो तो भाई बहुत ही वायलेंट है, बिल्कुल भी साइलेंट नहीं है। ये क्या हो गया फ्लो की? आपको क्या करके आए हो आज? गांधी
I
जी के
don't think I
पाठ
was
पढ़ के
ठीक
आए
में
हो?
बोल सकता हूँ।
ओके देन। वेल, मैं तो चाहता हूं कि टीम्स एक दूसरे को मारे, तोड़े, हड्डियां टूटे, स्कल वल टूटे। आई वांट ऑल द वायलेंस राइट फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट एंड आई वांट इट टू हैपन राइट टिल द एंड। एंड लगता है मेरी इच्छा पूरे होने वाली है रिवर साइड पे। अब यहाँ पे टीम नंबर 2 तो ऑलरेडी ड्रॉप करके बैठी थी। एनजीपी माफिया एंड एनजीपी आरडीएक्स, दे बोथ हैड ऑलरेडी ड्रॉप्ड इनटू द जोन व्हेन टीम दबंग डिसाइडेड टू कम इन हियर like the brave debunk people that they are, and without any weapons they will start to fall back away from this area. Now one of the debunk boys has picked up a paraffel, but I don't think the other guy has anything to work with. They will move away to the fenced house near the top of riverside, and with that they should be safe for now, but they're not completely out of danger yet. स्लो की ये मैं क्या देख रहा हूँ? बीमा साथी स्ट्रिप पीक दोनों के दोनों अनकंटेस्टेड है, यानी कि सारे के सारे टीम्स एज पे जाना पसंद कर रही है। इस बार सेंट्रल कोई नहीं खेल रहा। That is a little weird, but not completely out of the ordinary. We have seen this happen before.
Yeah.
GC Lunatic and Aura Raiden, two players from team number 3, will be up against team number 1, which have NB Rebel and Ion Boss. देखते हैं क्या होता है। जीजी लुनेटिक एंड ऑरा रेडन यहाँ पे क्रेन साइड पे पहुंच चुके हैं, यानी कि मार्स लेटर के एकदम सदर्न साइड पे, और उनने वेयर हाउस के अंदर अभी एनिमीज को जाते हुए स्पॉट कर लिया। वो पहले कवर में जाने की कोशिश करेंगे बिफोर फाइटिंग, and he will be able to fight these guys. Both of them have activated their chrono shields, so no damage exchanged, but Lunatic ने glue wall लगा के फाइट करने की कोशिश की, उनको हल्का सा डैमेज पड़ चुका है। अब देखते हैं यहाँ पे कंटिन्यू करेंगे कि यहाँ से निकलने की कोशिश करेंगे। जहां तक मुझे तो लग रहा है कि यहाँ पे टीम XCG जो है वो बहुत ही दूर जाना चाहती है, and they are not very keen on picking up these fights, but I could be wrong. If NB Rebel and Iron Bonds, if they end up chasing them, then the whole thing could come falling apart for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to be chased by Team 1 over here. You kind of want to finish that fight and, just get your way, make your way inside the circle. But, yeah, instead they're just going to choose to run away, popping the time turner to get inside. And I think Lunatic spotted out that Team 1 is still standing there out in the open. So he doesn't really need to worry about getting backstabbed at this point. Right now, they can just focus on getting inside the circle or maybe going all the way around them. But I like what Team 1 are doing here. Team 1 are actually going to be able to cut off their rotation if they keep going. It looks like Team 3 have realized that, but instead they're going to use their high ground advantage to turn their attention towards Iron Boss, and Iron Boss is going to be taken out. It's just going to be a 2v1 now for Team 1, and Team 1 is not going to be too happy about that result. Team XCG, of course, they're the ones who have rotated around, and now they can turn things. They can start looking for Rebel, and Rebel is going to start cutting his losses short and make his way deeper towards the circle, and possibly make his way towards factory or clock tower, any of those places where he can be safe.
I don't think any place will be safe when the circle pops in. All these teams are going to have to get in there. Okay, it's not that weird of a circle. Keratin, Mill, Riverside, Bimasakti, Peak, Cape Town, all of it in the circle. This is one of the few times where Cape Town is actually in the circle, so that's actually a little surprising. I'm usually used to seeing all the Cape Town teams leave early on, but this time they will get to chill over there a little more. Teams in Shipyard, Bullseye though, they're gonna have to leave pretty quickly. इन द प्रीवियस गेम हमने यहाँ पे एक भी टीम को जाते हुए नहीं देखा। शिपयार्ड, बुलजाई, ग्रेवयार्ड, ऑब्जर्वेटरी पूरा का पूरा खाली था। इस बार बिमा शक्ति और पीक खाली है, जो कि बहुत ही अजीब है, लेकिन ठीक है, इट मेक्स द रोटेशंस फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ टीम्स इजियर।
Exactly. Bhima Shakti Strip is that area which will almost never be completely out of the circle ever, at least the first one. It will always be on the edge, it will always be around. So, staying in Bhima Shakti Strip certainly has its perks, but yeah, rotating from Bhima Shakti Strip to some of these other areas can be a little bit tricky depending on where the other teams are. So you kind of want to practice that if you're a team that fancies themselves being in the circle and giving themselves an advantage when the game starts. But for now, we're going to turn our attention towards Shipyard, Crips. And यहाँ पे Team 5 जो SGS है, they are going to be going up against Team 7, जिनके दोनों members काफी split up हो चुके हैं. So I don't like what they're doing here. Team 5 could take a 2v1 and essentially just handicap Shadow, who is all by himself here in this warehouse. And Side Bro, I mean, given his position, he is going to be spotted here. Look at this. Army is going to spot him out. I think he's done. Yeah, he knows where he is now. But Team 5 are also splitting up, Chris. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. They're not really attacking together. I think they themselves are terrified of where the second player is going to be, and they're going to make a run for it.
Side Bro might get sidetracked over here if he decides to stick around and pick up this fight all by himself. But for now, team number 5 are falling back from this area, and they're probably trying to go towards some other part of the map using the launch pad and get into the circle quickly. They reach the edges of plantation, which means yeah, they should be fine for now. But I don't know why they're rotating so quickly. They haven't even seen the circle yet. When they do, they will probably realize where they need to go. But speaking of the circle, I would like to look at it if it's on the zone. I mean, yeah. I mean, they need to get into a plantation. So, yeah, okay, not a bad rotation. I mean, considering that there are plenty of teams in this area, they need to move quickly. And if they get in there, they can gatekeep the other teams. Although gatekeeping in the first circle isn't really that, it's not really that effective. But yeah, I never am against early rotations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point. It's not as much about gatekeeping as it's about getting inside and getting in there first and holding that position. Many a times teams will just be late in their rotation, and then they are the ones who get fired upon by every which angle because all the teams have already occupied some of the best places to occupy inside the zone. You don't want to be the team, that has to be worried about getting shot at from all angles. You want to be the team that has the option to engage if they see a good opportunity, and you only give yourself that option by rotating in early and getting to those houses first. Let's see which of these teams manage to do that. For the time being, we're seeing Team 14 stay near Code 2. I like their relative positioning. It's actually very, very good if you think about it in terms of rotations and where they can go next with respect to the circle forming. Because they're close enough to the center, they are going to be able to make their way to the next circle fairly easily, unless it's a circle that decides to hard shift. And yeah, hard shifts always make things interesting. We're also going to see a fair amount of fights on the western part of the map because I see at least 3 teams closing in from that direction. I think Bhima Shakti Strip is going to be a point of contention for Team 5, Team 4, and Team 9 because all of them seem to be making their way in that general direction. You're not really going to be the team that goes out in the open and starts looking towards peak directly. That's just not going to happen.
Is peak even worth it anymore? Is it even going to be in the next circle? Judging Bermuda, it probably is going to be, but here on the edges of Hangar, as the zone starts to shrink, we have Team KTM. Yep, the bike. It's going up against Team 4, D Yahi and D Roker. Let's see if they're able to win this one. Let's see if they're able to pull off the wheelies and the stoppies and all the stunts that they can think of. Both their chrono shields have been used up, so they don't really have a lot of cover now. They're going to have to use their glue walls from this point onwards. If they do decide to use the glue walls, well, then I hope they have enough resources left for the end of the game. But they aren't really going in for the fights. They're just trying to run away. And if that was their intention, then they should have done it a lot sooner. Harshil gets knocked out, and it's all down to Aman right now. He's going to be pretty easy to deal with. And just like that, Team D, or rather should I say D Yahi and D Roker, are going to be the ones who win this battle. KTM, yeah, that bike is just going to crash and burn. Go for a car next time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but isn't there a professional team known as D Esports? But I think I've seen the name Yahi before.
We've seen them. Oh, wait, do you think this is the actual D Esports, the one that's competing in FFIC? I don't think.
Yeah, I think Yahi is a name that I recognize. I could be wrong though. They do have the D acronym before them. Maybe it's just them trolling us, or maybe them signifying their love for the team. Could be either one of those. But if it is indeed Team D Esports, then I hope to see good things from them.
I mean, if they are, well, then good luck to all the other teams. They're going to need this luck. We have GZ Lunatic here. Doesn't mean that he is actually from Team GZ Army.
Yeah.
We have Aura Raiden over here. Doesn't mean he actually knows gaming Aura. So, yeah, it could be the case. Over here, though, Shadow has managed to pick up a kill over here. But he's outside the zone. So many teams tanking the zone damage and not getting in there quickly. It's not like this is a very populated lobby. It's only, 15 teams, which is much lesser than the number of people that participate in a classic game of Free Fire. It's not as deadly. So you can afford to get into the zone quicker and, not take all this blue zone damage. And it's a second zone as well. At this point, it starts to stink. It doesn't hurt a lot, but it definitely does sting. And you probably want to keep your resources for the late game.
Wow.
The circle goes in for a shift towards mill. Now, that's a rare circle we don't usually see.
Yeah, most of the time you see the circle shifting somewhere between Clock Tower, Bhima Shakti Strip, or Peak. Those are generally as it closes in. But this time around, it's going to be closer to Mill, with Mill almost being the center. For the time being, though, we're going to turn our attention towards Team D, where Rocker73 has managed to find himself a knock. Maybe they can keep pushing forward here against Team 12, who are fairly split up. Rocker's trying to cut off their rotation from elsewhere, at least preventing the enemy from getting a flank angle onto his teammate. Let's see if he's successful in doing so. And a grenade is going to be tossed out. Glue wall to provide himself cover. Is going to peek out with the XM8. Not really connecting his shots, though. In fact, he stopped firing. It seems that he ran out of bullets in the middle of that fight. He switches, but it's going to be too little too late, as Rocker73 will be knocked down and probably is going to be finished off soon enough. But Yahi comes in the nick of time to save his teammate. And look at, wow, that quick flick by Yahi. That was insane. He got himself 2 quick headshots when I wasn't expecting him to. That was nuts.
That was indeed nuts. Are you now convinced it's him?
Maybe. Could be. Not entirely sure. But I have a good feeling that if they're hitting shots like these, then they certainly spend a lot of time playing Free Fire.
They do. Let's hope all that experience can actually count. Sidebro and Shadow now looking to pick up a fight against Team The Bung. They've been inside this house since the game started. They haven't really moved. Do they even have enough loot? No, they don't have any medkits, but they will be able to still get the kills because of element of surprise. They don't make a single noise. They don't make a single footstep, but now they're able to surprise them. Yeah, that happened. And Shadow's gonna run away. Team The Bung are not gonna chase him. I have no idea why they aren't chasing him, but fine. I mean, it's not like Shadow's any safer. We have NGB Mafia down here. He can also finish things up. So, yeah. I mean, holding on to one house for so long, I've never really seen that. Maybe I don't do it because I'm not patient enough, but fine, it works in their favor, at least for now. Let's see if the lack of loot comes to bite them in the back later on.
Yeah, I think it might be the case that, team... that the team is just too I'm not quite sure how to say it. Like, they're too emaciated. Like, they just don't have enough resources to take the fights. Usually you want to have a good assortment or a good mix of grenades, a couple of glue walls in there, maybe a medkit or two to heal yourself back up, even a couple of inhalers if you have the room for it. But yeah, inventory management is something that we don't talk about very often, and having a good backpack can go a long way in doing that and in sorting that issue out. So definitely inventory management is also a skill that I hope these teams invest time into learning, because you're not always going to get yourself a level 3 backpack. You're not always going to be able to get yourself the most amount of inventory space. Sometimes you're just going to have to decide between medkits, glue walls, utility, or more ammo for your weapon, and you need to be able to make that choice really, really quickly. But for the time being, we're going to turn our attention towards this fight brewing out near Bridge Crips, and Rebel. He certainly is in a good position for this fight, but the issue is that he's all by himself. So it's going to be difficult for him to do anything at all. Now, maybe he can take this 1v2 over here, but he doesn't really know the resources that Team 14 possesses. They have the SRV tag, but they're not actually survivors. They are not the players from Team Survivors, in case any of our viewers are wondering about that. Pankaj is going to be knocked down. In the meantime, Ashish is going to keep standing over here waiting for the enemy team to peek, and Raiden is going to peek, get the shot in, and just like that, looks like Team SRV is going to go down. In the meantime, though, Team D, Rocker73 and Yahi both turning their attention towards Team Dabang and Team... Oh, that was a very interesting flick there by Yahi. That's all I'm going to say for now, but that flick almost looked a little bit weird to me. Let's see if he's actually able to keep himself alive. And now Exoham is going to take out D Rocker73, not the outcome that the Team D was looking for. Now it's only going to be Yahi against the world. It's going to be a 1v2 situation for him. But maybe if these fights play out before Team 6 decides to push him, maybe he can stay alive. A last dynamo, it's all going to come down to him. If he can live long enough, Crips, which he's not going to, then DEI could be in a world of trouble. But eventually, DEI is going to get himself to top 8, and he will be able to make it to tomorrow's best of 3. That's all he was hoping for. What happens now is none of his business. He could end up going down here, but still, he's going to make it tomorrow, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, he's gonna make his life count. Maybe dish out a little bit of damage before he finally goes out. That was something that he will probably like to do. Get a couple of kills so that even though he finishes in the 7th place, he has a couple of kills in the pocket so that he can secure his position inside the top 8 and nobody really overtakes him. Although he is Diyahi, we've seen him hit some ridiculous shots before. Maybe he can hit them once again. The circle now closing in even further towards Mill puts team number 5 in the center. Now, I don't know if Team number 5 can capitalize on that position well, but definitely Team Boss won't be able to do so because they've been eliminated. Elsewhere, we have GC Lunatic and Aura Raiden using the grenade launchers. They completely decimate XCG Esports in a matter of seconds. That fight did not take long at all.
Yeah, I mean, that was the quickest fight I've seen, and over here, DEI is surprisingly making it even quicker with the AK-47. One man standing, but that does not mean that he can't take 1v2s. He's certainly putting in a lot of effort here to try and be the one who gets the booyah. Toby gets a nice shot towards Yahi, but Yahi is going to be able to heal himself back up. Has to worry about the zone closing in on him, though. It's going to start moving soon enough, and it's not going to wait for him to get inside. Well, he's going to start making his move here, but Team Level have a very good vantage point on him. Both Soham and Level are keeping an eye on him. And look at that grenade coming in. It's going to miss entirely, but at least it's going to intimidate Yahi and force him to rotate from elsewhere, from another side. Wait, that bounce might just do it. Yahi, is he still alive? Yes, he is. Somehow those glue walls end up protecting him. But the blue zone, it's indiscriminate. It doesn't care who he is. And yeah, it seems just that they saw nades on discount and they bought them all. Eventually, Yahi will go down thanks to Soham's M60. But yeah, good job by Yahi surviving so far and taking 1v2s there.
Dude, how many nades are you going to throw at the poor guy? At one point, he will run out of glue walls. He won't be able to figure out whether he should block the bullets or he should block the nades. And I mean, as long as Level Soham is concerned, he doesn't care whether he kills the other guy with the gun or the bomb. He just wants to get the kill. That's literally it. He doesn't care if he has to indiscriminately throw grenades at him to do so. Now, GZ Lunatic and Aura Raiden up against Team LBL. Will they be able to pull it off? While they're busy fighting each other, SGS Army is just casually sitting there. No, he reveals his position. He did not really need to do that. He could have avoided that. He could have stayed hidden. 2v1v2, and definitely Army does not have the advantage over here. Soham is trying to go around the backside of the hill, trying to get towards the cell phone tower that Army is holding, because that's like a much better position in terms of cover.
Yep.
Although there is the entirety of the lower side of hill available, so you can use that also as natural cover to get inside and get up close and personal. Toby does manage to close the distance between him and Aura Raiden, but Raiden is too busy looking in the other direction. Of course, he doesn't need to look towards Toby because he has a grenade launcher and he can indiscriminately fire it away. Soham gets knocked out because of it, and now he's knocked out Lunatic. That means the guy with the grenade launcher is out. Toby puts up around the glue wall to keep himself safe, and now it's a 1v1v1. He needs to get his teammate back up online, and he will be able to do so, thus granting them the advantage once again. Aura Raiden, poor guy, he was not able to revive his teammate, but Toby was able to do so. And I don't believe Aura Raiden has even recovered the grenade launcher that his teammate dropped. Nope, he certainly hasn't. He's got a Groza and a shotgun. So he's just going to bide his time at the bottom of this hill, hoping that Team SGS Army will die first. And given the amount of zone damage they are taking, they are more likely to die first. Aura Raiden, though, will get caught out by Toby. And now Soham finishes off the last guy. There you go. Team Level Amaterasu will win this game.
Yeah, great 1v1s pulled off by both Toby and Soham. The Soham, of course, prioritizing the play on the lower side of the hill, and Toby focusing towards Army. They are both able to win their individual gunfights, and they get the booyah. Great awareness by Team Level Amaterasu as well. I believe when one of the players was knocked down, they both, I think it was Soham. Instead of going forward and taking the fight, he knew that the zone was going to start closing in and he has the better position. So he drops a couple of glue walls, he revives his teammate, and he makes it a 2v1 for him. Or at least a 2v2, even if the enemy team decided to, just try to tag team and maybe take out the bigger fish first. They could have certainly still won that because they would have given themselves an advantage, which would not have been the case had level Amaterasu, or rather ex-Soham's teammate, whoever he was, if he just decided to take the 1v1 instead. In that case, he certainly would not have been able to get the booyah. So good awareness by him.
Great awareness by them. I also like the great attempts by D Yahi to get inside the top 8. I think he was able to do more than that. He was able to get into the top 5 maybe. And he could have done more if he wasn't bombarded like hell. But he had some great touches, so good stuff by him as well. We will be seeing him in tomorrow's tournament as well. So as long as we get to see him play again, we will be satisfied. Team Survivors over here, of course, couldn't stand up against the people. But GZ, Lunatic, and Raiden, they did really well in this match. They could have won the entire game if they hadn't, if they hadn't gotten overconfident in the end. Of course, having the grenade launcher does give you a little bit of confidence, but you can't really take it for granted that way.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, you shouldn't take anything for granted for that matter. I mean, if you just start taking things for granted, then you'll never focus on improving. You'll never focus on, accounting for that. And many a times you forget to account for things that become second nature to you. If you don't account for them, you could end up changing it, and that could just end up being a big hindrance later down the line, because it was enabling you earlier, but now it's no longer enabling you. But philosophical discussions aside, this is the moment I was talking about where Toby was able to revive Exoham instead of going for the 1v1. And look at this, the zone is going to start closing in. Because Team 13 are already close to the center, they're not even inclined to make a move here. Eventually, they heal themselves back up, they get to a higher amount of HP, and then they start moving in. And that's exactly what Toby needed to do here to get the win eventually. Now Exoham is going to split, he's going to focus Aura Raiden, I believe. No, it's actually Toby who focuses Aura Raiden, and Exoham goes up against Army. So they're both able to win their individual 1v1s and get the booyah. Something that would not have happened had Exoham not been revived.
Well, good stuff by all these players over here. And we will be seeing them in tomorrow's qualifier finale as well. We do have plenty of games remaining for the day. We still have 2 more games. This was just the 3rd one. 2 more games yet to come. So don't go anywhere. Just refill on your popcorn, grab your drinks again, and be ready for the next game. We'll be back in just a few minutes. This is MediaTek Presents Free Fire Gaming Masters, powered by JioGames, and we'll see you on the other side.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek hyper-engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
We're bringing 5G to everyone. Across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's hyper-engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवी और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट 2021 में पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है क्रिप्स और हम हमारे चौथे बेस्ट ऑफ वन पे आ चुके हैं। वापस से बर्मुडा पे प्लेन की उड़ान शुरू होगी मार्स इलेक्ट्रिक पे और खत्म होगी शिपयार्ड पे। एंड दिस टाइम अराउंड द हाई टियर लूट जोन इज गोना बी नियर रिमनाम विलेज। लेट्स सी इफ एनी टीम्स डिसाइड टू ड्रॉप देयर। ऐसा लग रहा है देख के कि शायद टीम्स डिसाइड ना करें रिमना विलेज की तरफ जाना, but at the same time Cape Town is more inaccessible than Rimnam village, so maybe teams that are thinking about dropping into Cape Town instead go to Rimnam. Who knows?
Who knows? True. Both the zones are apart, like on completely different parts of the map, and you might get the same amount of loot as you do in Cape Town because there's more buildings over there, and because Rimnam has such few buildings, the high tier loot zone being there means you'll have to loot a lot less. I mean, for a lot less time, and you still get, similar amounts of loot, so that's okay. And we've seen teams with a lot of loot also go down early on. We've seen teams with like 10, 12 blue walls die. So yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. But ooh, a nice shot over here by Spike onto Nobita. Puts up a big red number, which indicates a headshot. Nobita survives on very less HP, but he's going to be able to get away. Nobita's teammate, though, is still hanging out in the same area, and he spotted Spike out. DJ Alok skill activated. He will heal back up. Puts up a medkit just for good measure, but I do feel like the medkit was wasted, and now he has nothing to work with. So some bad decisions over there as to how your utility is used, but at least he's alive.
Yeah, that's what matters. A great density of team towards the northeastern part, but we'll see if any fight actually breaks out there.
The northwestern part definitely has plenty of teams, and that is not surprising. But Riverside having more than one team is indeed surprising. We saw it in the previous game as well, but we don't really see it that often. It's just today that we are seeing a lot of teams, drop into Riverside often. So that's new for sure. Hap and Bolt, two people over here from team number 9, are up against Soul and Being Evo. Now, they do have decent weaponry, but none of them are really suited for close range combat. Hap and Bolt are trying to close the distance and move in, and they do seem to have an idea that someone's inside, so they're going to lead the charge with grenades. Now the grenades come flying in. Team number 5, they dodge the damage by moving into another room. Another nade will come flying in, and they will soon follow with the assault from the staircase, but the nade misses. And the opportunity is lost. They're going to go in just like that now. And of course, the M14 is not suitable for battle at close ranges. Neither is the Parafil, but at least he doesn't miss his shots. Yeah, the fans are out. And first blood goes in the favor of Soul 122.
Yeah, Team TRX finding those 2 kills. A little bit disappointing, start for the other team. I have to say, the way fans did it, the way they were dumping the utility, I thought, okay, these guys know how to assault a compound. And then they go inside and they completely mess up their aim, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that's all they're really good for. But for the time being, we're going to turn our attention back towards Cape Town, where Team 10 and Team 2 are likely to face off against each other. Now, Team 10 is not aware of Team 2's position just yet, but they are splitting up to find themselves some more loot, and they will be successful in doing that. You don't want to go too far, though, because if you go out of each other's sight line, especially especially in the duos mode, you could end up being picked off by a stray parafil rifle or a stray sniper rifle or something, or like pretty much any person who's going to be keeping a lookout. He does spot out one member from Team 2, so he knows exactly where he's going to be located. He has a single vector in his hands, and it's not the best weapon to take fights at this range. He's going to drop the glue wall, buy himself some time, and then going to retreat back to safety with his teammate. His teammate is also quite low, Crips. Nobita, he's going to have to pop a heal real soon, because otherwise he's going to be dropping very, very low, and there's not much he can do about it when the enemy team decides to push him. Well, Zalim, he's going to be forced to use his med. He actually stops using that med kit. That's a little surprising there. Don't really blame him. He has 155 HP, so maybe he has enough. Oh, he's actually going to drop it to his teammate. Oh, I see. That's really smart. So Nobita didn't have a health kit of his own, so Zalim dropped him his own. And now Nobita is also going to be to get himself to, well, not the best amount of HP, but at least it's better than staying on 20. And it extends the chance of them surviving an engagement with Team 2. Can't really afford to take this. All they're really hoping for is to go around, maybe they can find a couple more medkits, heal themselves back up, and then just look to survive until the first circle shows itself, and then decide whether this fight is one that they want to take.
I don't know, man. Both of those options seem not very lucrative.
Yeah.
What do we do in this situation? You can just stay over here because the zone forms over the area of Mill and Cape Town once again. This time the only difference is, instead of shipyard or a little bit of the dam being in the circle, the zone is a little more towards the south, with a tiny bit of centers are still in there. So yeah, it's a very similar circle to the previous game, but it isn't really special. There's still a pretty good chance that all of this goes back towards peak, and both the teams need to then leave the area. For now, they can just chill in Cape Town, and it won't really affect them. But yeah, in the long run, we can't really say. First circle can never really be, used to determine what the outcome will be. Yeah, it's not a good indication.
Exactly. I mean, it's only something that you can account and try and prepare for, but it's not something you'll always be able to account for, which is why dropping it to Bhima Shakti can be such a huge advantage. I mean, as you've seen, it's still inside the circle. So, teams over there are definitely not going to have to worry about the very first circle. But at the same time, if you're a team that is dropping on the outskirts at Cape Town, you're even more happy because now you don't have to worry about being backstabbed because, well, who the hell is going to backstab you if you're in Cape Town, right? You can just pick one house, choose to hold it, and you have to be inside, and you just have to be inside the circle like you currently are. But for the time being, we're going to turn our attention towards Team 13 and Team 11, who are taking a fight near Peak. Now, Peak is one of those areas where there is room for long-range engagements, but taking those is not necessarily not the best thing that you can do, because there are better options available. There are compounds and there are houses that you can hold on to, and instead of going out in the open and taking these early fights, which basically mean nothing in the grander scheme of things, I would much rather see these teams occupy something like the double balcony house, occupy something like the L-shaped house at Bhima Shakti Strip near the petrol pump. It's going to give them more options, going to give them a better chance to fight. Well, we'll see if these teams do decide to fight, but for the time being, they're not going to choose to do so. Instead, I think we should be seeing a fairly passive rotation inside the circle, unless, of course, Team 6 run into Team 14, in which case, firefight will be breaking out here. Volcano and his friend, they're both going to be perched up here in the L-shaped house, but the question is, are these guys going to be able to gatekeep Team 6 coming in? Or are they just going to let them pass and look to backstab them later, use disinformation to their advantage, right? Because Team 6 is definitely going to assume that this house is empty if they move past it. But Team 4, in the meantime, they're going to continue holding on to their horse, and they're going to continue to, keep moving in stealthily inside. But eventually, we should be seeing an engagement breakout between these teams. And when that happens, I think Team 14 or Team TP are in the perfect position to third party and punish.
Finally, Volcano reveals himself, and he's going to take a couple of pot shots at Siva Bhai. None of the shots really connect, but Siva Bhai has managed to get inside the house to save himself. The chrono shield put up by his enemy actually works in his own favor, and now he's managed to lock them back inside. Lovely stuff by Siva Bhai over there, trying to dodge all the bullets, and he manages to deal damage to TOI and Volcano both. His teammate PR Milan will now come in and get rid of Volcano. Finished him off as well, and Siva Bhai juked around those corners like an absolute madman. He used his own enemy's chrono shield against them. Now, that isn't something that I see very often, and that is some 200 IQ moves right there. TOI, though, what's he going to do now? He knows Sivabai is above him. He doesn't know exactly where Milan was. He heard Sivabai jump, so he's
Oh,
going to
no.
peek, but he ends up knocking down Milan instead. No problem. Sivabai still has his Chrono Shield, and he's going to revive his teammate in the face of adversary. And will they be able to win this one? Sivabai faces them once again, but a far deployed glue wall will actually help out TUI more than you think. Luckily, Milan will now peek out of his own cover, and that's the end of it. That's a nice bait and switch by Sivabai over there. He went across the other side of the glue wall. Even though the glue wall was wrongly deployed, he used it to his own advantage and set up Milan for success.
Absolutely. Pulton there, of course, being, I think they were the team that ended up winning that firefight. They're going to be quite happy with the outcome. Unfortunately, Sivabhai's glue wall was a little bit off. His feet were completely exposed, but his enemy didn't push because the glue wall was actually blocking the entrance. So, yeah, he was able to survive for a little while longer. And a good awareness by him as well. Just being able to block the enemy from exiting, making sure that even though the glue wall was not perfectly deployed, it's enough to help him stay alive and heal himself back up. I was quite concerned there that Sivabai might go down because of his feet being completely exposed, but that didn't happen. So kudos to him for surviving in that situation. But now the circle is going to start closing in. It's going to be a finish somewhere between Peak, Riverside, and Keratin. These 3 years are the ones to look out for. But in the meantime, Team 13 slightly split up. Golu is going to go down. Satyam has he does have the Stair Orc to work with. It's not half bad at long range, but with the M82B in Dante's hands, he's going to be the one who comes out on top. I'm glad to see Satyam leave that car, but oh no, Dante misses the next shot with the M82B. In fact, he's just going to call it quits at secure Golu's kill, and maybe then they can think about taking out Satyam here. He is still trying to connect. Nope, he did not hit. That was very, very close though by X6 Dante.
Well, at least he tried. He did manage to get one kill, so he should be happy with whatever he has for now. He knows that Satyam was very low on health, and he knows the direction in which he went, so he knows where to look in case he wants to engage in a battle against him once again. But I don't think he will want to move now. On the edge of the circle, he has a great position. He can gatekeep a couple of teams coming in from Cape Town. Elsewhere on the map, we have Kaushik and Adam going up against team number 4. Now, they do have weird names, so I'm not going to pronounce names, but oh my god, Kaushik, he wants to destroy that glue wall and maybe destroy the people hiding behind it as well. He did cause a little bit of damage, forcing them to abandon that tree and go towards the little shack at the bottom of the hill. But they are not going to let go of them. Adam and Kaushik, now both taking separate angles, want to close in on them from 2 different directions, which is a great plan, but if one of them goes down, well then there will be no backup available. Make sure the trading is on point. So far, they're playing for the angles game and not the trade game. Let's see if it works out in their favor or not. And Kaushik with a well-placed headshot eliminates Elexstar. It's all down to blues now. He will be able to revive his teammate, but will his Chrono Shield last long enough? Nope. And Elexstar goes down once again. And this time he's able to find blues also through the glue walls with the M82B. And that is how the cookie crumbles. That's how the glue walls crumble. The M82B anti-sniper shotgun. I'm sorry. What? Anti-glue wall sniper. What did I just say?
Anti-sniper shotgun.
Jesus,
Bullets fired seek out
not...
sniper players and hit them straight in the eye.
No. I meant the anti-glue wall sniper. Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean,
that's all right.
if you use a double M82B, then it kind of becomes an anti-glue wall machine gun, given how fast you're able to fire these weapons. But this time, Dante, having only one sniper rifle to work with, will be hitting shots just the way, at just the speed you're supposed to be able to hit it. Although Dante, he has a nice angle and he's able to spot out a little pixel of his enemy. Will be able to finish off the player who was knocked out. The nade doesn't do the job. It is not close enough, and Dante doesn't even need to budge with that nade coming in over here.
Yeah,
but he's still keen on pinning him down there near that tree.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that he's using Laura's ability with the extra accuracy. It really helps out in those long-range engagements because if you don't have it, you can end up missing some of your shots down in longer ranges. Even though sniper rifles are meant to be effective at long range, if you don't have that perk, if you don't have that bonus, I believe it's like, 30% accuracy, you're not going to be able to connect those shots at that distance. Let's see if Dante can continue to do so, though. He's going to drop a glue wall ahead of himself, try and get himself some cover. Grenades are going to be cooked and thrown in eventually, and Dante connects with his own. alone, and that's going to be the end of his opponent. Team number 3 going to be quite happy with the 2 kills that they've picked up, but they have to worry about getting inside the circle crypts where the action is just starting to, well, it's just starting to brew out. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of teams in close proximity of each other, but no one is really engaging for the time being. TP Spike, he's going to take shots with his rifle at that range. He's going to be able to pick up the kill on the team, get himself to the 9th spot at the very least. But it's going to take an elimination of one more team for all of these players to guarantee their spot tomorrow in the best of 3. Let's see which players are the ones who manage to accomplish that.
One more team left to be knocked out. If you get knocked out now, then you can kiss goodbye to the hopes of playing tomorrow. And I believe one of these teams will be the ones who don't get to qualify. RB Avinash, with a double vector equipped in his hand, is using the third-person perspective to keep an eye on Team 6, who are just starting to line up outside the fence of his house. Team 12, TKM, also is near the cell phone tower, and I believe he's been spotted by Team Milan, but they face... Why did he have to get out of that house? He could have just stayed in there. He had the double vector, so if they walked into his crosshairs, he would have been able to kill them. But why did he have to go out and pick up a fight himself? That too against both the players at once. It's not even like he's trading them one by one. A horrible bunch of decisions, and that lead to his demise. He gets knocked out, and team number 6 move on to the finals tomorrow. Yay!
Most certainly, they most certainly will move on to the finals tomorrow, Crips. But yeah, there's still a booyah to be had over here, and let's see which team has the highest chances of doing so. For now, I'm going to place my bets on Team 2 because given their position, they're actually not liable to be backstabbed at all, so they don't have to worry about their backs. And at the same time, their flanks are not something they're going to have to worry about because they are inside hard cover, so they certainly seem to have a good chance of winning, but so do Team 8. Let's see which one is it that actually comes out on top, though. We're going to turn our attention towards Team 12 and Team 6. In the meantime, it's only going to be TKM's OD going up against 2 players from Team 6. And yeah, well... there's only so much he can do. He's either going to die to the blue zone or he's going to die to the players, and it's going to be the players that get the kill. Milan with the XM8 is able to find that, but now they need to make their way inside the zone. I feel like they might end up dying to the zone itself if they don't start running in there. Alone right in the meantime is going to be able to pick Alone Rohit, rather, is going to be able to pick himself up a kill. Let's see if both of those players made it in the nick of time. I'm not sure if I see Team 6. I actually don't see Team 6. They were eliminated there, Crip. So, yeah, it's going to be the end of the road for them. But fortunately, they make it tomorrow, so they're not going to be feeling too bad about that. TP Spike, in the meantime, the only player still standing from his team SOD. Rohit was knocked down, and being Evo is going to be the person who punishes him, secures the kill for himself, and yeah, they're going to start moving forward. But in the meantime, Team INS, Kaushik, Malik, and Adam, both gatekeeping Team number 5 from getting in there. This is good stuff by them, but they also need to get inside the circle themselves. And now Kaushik is going to get fired upon. He's going to drop a glue wall for cover, try to heal himself back up, but I think he needs to get to hard cover first. Well, that glue wall certainly is going to prevent any teams from firing in his general direction. So, yeah, he's just going to stay there and heal himself back up. Also has 11 glue walls to work with, so he's not too unhappy about it. But look at this flank coming in from Team 8. Well, the footsteps should be heard now. Adam should know that someone is closing in from behind. Wait, they still haven't spotted him. Team 8, they still haven't spotted... Okay, no, he has. Kaushik Malik has spotted him, so they have an idea that there's Team 8 behind him. Now Adam is going to drop the tiny turn and turn his attention towards Captain, knock him down, and now Yukon is going to try to revive him, but he's going to have to worry about 2 players firing at him at the same time. And Kaushik Malik will be knocked down in return. You can't. He's tanking damage from the blue zone. And eventually Adam will be able to finish him off. Thankfully, the auto-aim did not kick in this time, and he does not kill the player who was down instead. His aim shoots upwards, but now Adam has to take a 2v1. But he's getting help. He's getting help from team number 3, Team X6. Dope and Dante are the ones who are helping him out. And Adam is going to pick up a second kill. So now it's going to be a 2v1 between Adam and Team X6. Team X6, they certainly have 2 players, so they have the man advantage. They can trade each other out, but Adam has an MP40, and that gun doesn't need any attachments to be deadly at close range. Can he get to close range, though? No. That is the question. Those 2 drop scripts, yeah, they tell me a different story. These guys are going to get their weapons, and they are going to be very, very comfortable using them. I like this little strategy by Adam, constantly throwing nades, hoping one of them connects, but the time turners are going to be up, and now Dante is going to start returning the favor.
How many grenades does he even have? He threw out like 3 or 4 grenades at that point. Adam now needs to get up close and personal, but in a 1v2, especially when these 2 players will have level 4 shields, yeah, there's just no way you're going to be able to win. Team Existence is able to win this battle, and they will not be the ones facing existential despair. It's going to be all the other teams who were not able to stop them. We will see them again tomorrow, but good job by Adam over there, surviving so long, especially when he was alone and getting
Yeah.
his team Insanity to the second place. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, he recognizes the situation perfectly, right? He was taking a fight against one player only. Team 3 knocked out the other guy, so he comes out on top, surprisingly enough. And then of course, he loses the 1v2, but at least he had the heads up awareness to take out the other player. And yeah, that ends up going out and working out in his favor. He gets second place. And now we can clearly see the rank list favoring Team Insanity over Team Terminator X. But we can have a quick look at the highlights to see exactly what is it that went down in this game and how exactly was it that yeah, T-minus, I mean, Kaushik Malik, those shots were so sick through the glue wall, getting the headshot on the second one, in fact. Great stuff by him. But yeah, this is Team X6 taking the 2v1, winning it out, playing it incognito up until the later circles, and that's how it should be. I mean, they're playing the meta properly, get to top 8, get your survival points, get your placement points, and only when necessary, that's when you take action, that's when you take fights, that's when you try and try to fight the enemy. And yeah, that's exactly what they did, and they're able to win because the meta favors it.
Well, keeping an eye on the meta and making sure that you use it in the best way possible is one of the ways to guarantee success. The other way to guarantee success is to get yourself a nice and fast phone like MediaTek and just simply own people on the basis of speed, because you will be faster than them when you have one of those. Either way, this is Adam and his quest to come into the second place, where he was able to gatekeep Kaushik's team and team number 8 at the same time, and I love the way how he managed all that crowd over there. Crowd control is just on a whole new level by this man. He even managed to survive against the members of Team Soul when a third team was fighting against him. So, using his skills of dodging, weaving, and shooting, Adam managed to keep himself alive up until the top 2. At that point, his strategy of indiscriminately nading failed because his enemies had chrono shields, but still, getting to the second place like this is impressive enough. And of course, Team Existence is also equally impressive. So we will be seeing all these players in the qualifier finale tomorrow. But for now, we're going to take a short break. We have the last game of the day still left to go. So don't worry, we will have one more game before we wrap things up over here. You guys are watching the MediaTek Presents Free Fire Gaming Masters powered by JioGames. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back after a short break.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus.
Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G Ultra Save is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
We're bringing 5G to everyone, across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals, and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life.
capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MediaTek Presents Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best, powered by JioGames. My name is Crips, and joining me is Floki for the last game of the day, the last qualifier for today. And this time, the plane takes off from Mars Electric and goes towards Shipyard. High tier loot zone being Cape Town. I do assume a lot of teams will go there because, at least for the last 4 games, we have almost always seen at least one team go towards Cape Town. Let's see if the trend continues. This time, there's only 13 teams, so the map will be a little less populated. The population density won't be that high. I don't assume I will get to see a lot of early game fights, but I could be wrong about that in case some teams decide to hot drop. Either way, with 13 teams in the server, all you need to do is outlive the first 5 teams. That's all. Shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it should be a pretty easy fight for all of them, but for the time being, we're going to see teams drop in close towards peak, but not at peak. Bhima Shakti Strip is also completely ignored once again. No one in Pochanok Factory in Mars Electric. In fact, teams for some reason seem to be just attracted to the western part of the map. It seems that Graveyard, Katulistava and Bullseye are where teams like dropping over places like Bhima Shakti, even though they're completely empty, which baffles me to say the least. But for the time being, this is not going to be very baffling. In fact, it's going to be quite straightforward. Team 12 and Team 6 should be facing off against each other pretty soon. Yeah, I saw what Dark Whitey did, taking out his spray paint canister to throw out a little tag there. But, oh no, crazy. He didn't anticipate someone coming in and shooting him from behind. The MP40 from Dark is going to try and do some work, but against double vectors and 2 players, yeah, it's not happening. Maybe if he gets the first knockdown, he can convert it. Nope, Yogi is quick to get the return kill with the help of the Max 7 or the 1014, whichever it was. I believe I saw Max 7 in his hand, but I could be wrong. So yeah, Team 12 reaches the unfortunate end in Katulistava, and Team 6, they reign supreme.
Well, that's the first fight done and dusted with. Another potential fight brewing in Graveyard. Maybe they will end up fighting, maybe they won't. They haven't really spotted each other out yet, but they are pretty close to each other. So if they do decide to pass by this area, which they will have to eventually in order to get to the zone, they will most probably end up fighting each other. But for now, we have a brief moment of silence, a brief moment of peace. No gunshots on the island. And I mean, it is Ilan, and after all, I wonder how the people even get here. Of course, I'm sure the residents of this area won't be comfortable with airdropping in every day. It's probably gonna, mess with their brain waves, considering that you have to face so much of G-force every day. It's difficult to deal with. I mean, even though I've never been skydiving myself, but I know a thing or two about jumping off planes. Do you think there will be another fight in Hangar as well? I mean, given how close Team 8 and 1 are to each other, yes, there is another fight over here. And we have Annie, who's already started firing at Pawan. Annie now joining with his teammate N. Should be able to do some damage, but they accidentally popped a smoke generator themselves. Yeah, that doesn't really help them at all, but there's still an angle available. And he manages to get a couple of shots onto the other player as well, Chintu. Is that his name? Is that Chintu? I can't really see because the screen is a little blurry for me over here. But Pawan and Chintu seems like something that I used to call my brothers when we were kids. But they are up against N and Annie right now. And nice flick shot by N. Will be able to get the second one as well. It's a double kill for him. Good stuff by Annie over here from Team CG15. They are able to get themselves nice 2 kills in a very stylish way as well.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to take that fight right off the bat. It makes no sense for them to do so, but they did regardless. And well, I guess it ended up paying off for them. Mima Shakti's trip this time around is going to be in the center of the first circle, so that option is going to be very attractive for teams. But so is Pochinok and Factory, which are also inside the circle alongside Peak. So maybe we see some teams start moving in that general direction. Clock Tower is also completely empty. And I have to say, the northern part of the current circle is where we're going to see a lot of action, because that is where most teams are going to be running into each other, trying to get inside the circle. For the time being, though, there's still 1 minute left on the clock before the blue zone starts closing in. So teams are going to stock up on loot. They're going to get themselves that level 3 backpack so they can store more and more stuff in it. You know, get yourself some glue walls, some grenades, some med kits, a good assortment of all of those things. And, you know, you have a pretty strong kit to fight against whichever opponent you might come across, you know, unless they have some weirdly distinct advantage, such as occupying the double balcony house inside Peak, you should be able to win those fights. But for the time being, we're going to turn our attention back towards Kota Tua, where Team 13 and Team 2 might be facing off against each other. It's unlikely that this happens. Team 13 does not, well, they probably do know that Team 2 has come in using the zip lines, but this does not mean that they necessarily want to take this fight, because at this point, taking a fight is not going to mean much for them. Maybe if there were 9 teams remaining, they try to punish what Team FSG are doing, but not now. Right now, they're just going to open themselves up to being third-partied, and that's why they're just going to play it safe. Well, I say that, but they actually start firing at each other, so color me wrong.
Yeah, just literally threw all of that into the water. And hopefully they will be able to dispose of their bodies too. FSG firing away at the tree. They know that there's a player behind it, and they do manage to get the knock onto Hyper. They finish him off as well as he tries to escape that area without using any glue walls whatsoever. And they were sharp on their aim. Now all they need to do is find the other guy. Will they be able to find him though? They did spot one player, but I don't think they have spotted the other teammate. So maybe they will chase him, maybe they won't. But elsewhere on Shipyard, we have team number 7 going up against 10. Mahi and Ram, both these players have a decent crossfire in between themselves. Although Team 10 has now picked up the high ground, which means Mahi is basically irrelevant. It's all going to be up to Ram. And if they take him down right now, then he's going to be in trouble. Puts on a glue wall. The first glue wall was wrong. That's why he was forced to deploy the second one as well. But now this allows a staircase-like formation to be formed over here. And Sakshi can use it to get an angle onto Ram. Yeah, there you go. There she has an angle. And she spotted Mahi come in as well. She's got information on both the players. This glue wall ends up actually working against him. And guess what? Ram and Mahi are busy fighting off Team 14. This is the best opportunity Team 10 can get. They can capitalize on this so hard. Ram does manage to get the first knock, but then he turns his attention towards Sakshi. So Team 7 do realize that they are being sandwiched. How do they get out of the situation though? Mahi goes back downstairs. He takes a lot of damage by the other player. That's going to be Deepak. And now that Deepak has managed to harm Mahi a bit, he's going to be forced to take cover behind the glue wall again. What happened to Team 14? They did die right away. They seem to have disengaged from this area, even though Team 14 were at an advantage. Maybe they died. I don't think they did, because there's still 11 teams online, and if they would have died, then this number would have gone down to 10. But they surely ran away from here, which means these two teams are safe for now. But as I say that, Ram gets knocked out. Deepak did a really good job of putting him down there. Mahi tries to come in and rescue him, puts down a chrono shield, but there's a massive gap in the chrono shield, and they're both exposed. The glue wall also has a massive gap. That means their feet are exposed. And there's just so many mistakes. Ram gets knocked out again. And poor Mahi, what can he possibly do in this situation? Sakshi will be able to finish him off. And there is the end of them. What a cluster of mistakes over there.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a symphony of errors, to say the least. And yeah, I'm very amazed by the fact that they were still able to survive that long. You know, a better team would have punished that so much quicker. But hey, I guess it's a blessing in disguise, as you know, people like to put it. But for the time being, we're going to turn our attention back towards Team 3 and Team 6. Team 3, of course, hiding behind the L-shaped house, are going to be standing here and preventing themselves from being shot at by Team 6. But Team 6, they can try and wrap around and get inside or get in Team 3's face. Let's see if they do manage to do that. Yogi and Gumnam, they're both making their way closer and closer inside the circle. They will eventually get in there, but looks like they won't have to worry about Team 3 because they too are concerned with getting deeper inside the circle and possibly finding themselves a good position. Once again, Crips, Bhima Shakti Strip is completely unoccupied. I do see Team 4 actually inside Clock Tower, so I'm happy about that. But there's still so much real estate left to be taken that I'm kind of disappointed that no one's moving in deeper inside the circle, especially when they knew early on where all of these teams are going to be dropping in.
Well, let's see where these teams decide to go once the circle moves. The second circle in 3, 2, 1. 0.5. Okay, there you go. I was off by just a tiny little second over there. I had my timing down to perfection, guys. Don't worry. But the next circle is as Bermuda, as it gets a little bit of Clock Tower, a little bit of Factory, a little bit of Peak, and basically the entirety of Bhima Shakti Strip. I do assume that if any team takes the God Compound right now, they will win. Will anyone go for it? Does anyone even know about the existence of this compound and how important it is? It's perfect. It's smack in the center of the circle, and it's going to be in the center of the circle for the next 2 zones. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Let's see if it comes to. Within the next 2 minutes, none of the teams will try to capture the God Compound. But the moment the third circle comes online, some team will go there. And the team that goes there will end up winning the game. I want to see how right I am. I want to see how much I can read the game. It's like a personal conquest for me at this point. Let's see if my prediction is right. If it's wrong, well then, Floki, I'm gonna buy you a shawarma when we meet next.
You don't have to do that, Crips. You can just, dig a pit for yourself and put your face or your head in it, much like an ostrich does, to mask away all the shame that's gonna come if you mispredict this thing. Nah, I'm just joking, buddy.
No,
I'll happily take the shawarma
I'll
if
take
you're
the
wrong.
shawarma any day. Yeah, I'll take the shawarma
Yeah,
any
I'll
day.
also happily take the shawarma any given day. But for the time being, let's see. Let's see if teams actually make their way there. Right now, with the UAV being overhead, that God Compound, I don't think teams are going to start making their way in there. But player number 13 just might. Now, he's the only member from his team who's alive. I'm not sure if he dropped in solo or if his teammate died somewhere along the lines. But yeah, whoever makes their way towards that God Compound, like you mentioned, Crips, they're certainly going to be in a very good position because it's over. So Bhima Shakti Strip, and you basically have all the vantage point in the world to work with. Get yourself an MED2B or an ARM, and you're going to be getting picks for days. For the time being, though, team number T4I, Jisoo, and Dragon, well, they are trying to hold on to their position here in Clock Tower, but Team 6 are not so keen on letting them get away with it so easily. They are going to make them work for it. In fact, Yogi, with his constant firing, is going to chase them away from at least the outskirts of Clock Tower, so they're going to have to go deeper inside to protect it. And I like how all of this was just a distraction for Gumnam to get back towards his teammate, to get back towards safety. And now I don't think these guys are going to decide to push. It makes no sense for them. They're going to wait the circle out. They're going to wait to see where they're positioned and then make a move. Although I would like to see them wrap all the way around, stay out of Team 4's sightlines, and make their way deeper and deeper inside the circle. It makes a lot more sense than staying where they currently are.
Sakshi got eliminated, and I don't know how. Sakshi was the player that we just saw in Shipyard punishing the glue wall mistakes. And at this point, she has been eliminated. Maybe to the zone? Wait, that also seems highly implausible. I have never seen people die to the second zone. Yeah, if this was like the 4th or 5th zone, that seems possible, but never in the second one. So either there was a massive comedy of errors, or maybe she just lost her internet. That's why she was choking outside the zone, and now she ended up dying. If that is the case, then you should get yourself a Jio internet and a MediaTek processor to make sure that that never happens to you again. But for now, these guys, and when I say these guys, their team name is literally guys. It's Yugi and Gumnam.
Yeah.
They are going to be happily camping inside the main Clock Tower house, taking a couple of pot shots at Jisoo and Dragon. I'm assuming Jisoo is one of the BTS fangirls. But Dragon, though, seems like a creature of malice and destruction. Little do they know that there is team number
fan. Because Natsu, Dragneel, the dragon. Never mind. I'll just hide my shame. I'll just hide my face in shame and not open my mouth again.
No, that's okay, Floki. You have a weird obsession with hiding your face today. I mean, you asked me to do the same, but I don't think these guys are aware of the fact that Pikachu and Free Skull is also in the vicinity. That team number 2 is right behind them. Now, because they're busy fighting each other from far away, they'll probably end up exchanging a couple of knocks, maybe forcing each other to use up their medkits and their abilities soon. But I don't think they will be able to finish each other unless one of them goes for the rush. Now, will they go for the rush? I don't know. The third circle, though, is online. And these three teams are battling at the edge of Bhima Sakti. And the team that wins this battle gets to take control of the God compound, although none of them are starting to move towards it first. They are fighting on the edge of the cell phone tower, and Sohail, he walks into that crossfire of Annie and N. Yeah, that was a bad decision. Poor Shian, though. What can he do now? I don't know if he will be able to win this, and he's dead. There you go.
He is most certainly gone. He is dead. Died. Done. Dusted.
Died.
Over. Nothing.
Just take
nada.
the compound already. There's even an airdrop now. That's even more incentive to capture the God compound. And finally, these two guys have done it.
Yeah, they've made their way there, Chris. Now let's hope they get the booyah, because that's the second part of your prediction. And I hope it's wrong, because I really want that shawarma. For the time being, though, we're going to turn our attention back towards Clock Tower, where Yogi is going to try to battle it out against both members of Team 4. They're still just having an intense stare down, both not really choosing to engage here. Team 4 obviously having the advantage in this situation. All they need to do is survive and force Team 6 to make a move or an offhand move that they can punish very easily. And when they do so, it's just going to be easy pickings for them. 20 seconds remaining before the blue zone closes in, and Yogi realizes that he's not going to be able to win this firefight, so it's in his best interest to wrap around. But in the process, he might actually run to Team 2. No, wait, the footsteps are going to be heard. Yogi knows what's up. He could end up taking out Free Skull, but he will be able to get himself into cover. And Pikachu is going to be the one getting fired upon now. He's going to pop his own time turner and also has his teammates' time turner ability to work with. They're both going to be able to get themselves out of that situation. But now they're hot on the tails of Team 4. And Team 6, they're in a very good position over here. They could theoretically wait for a little bit, get themselves inside the circle from the southern side, wait for the fight to go out, and then go back into third-party Team 2 and Team 4, whoever is the surviving member towards the end. But for the time being, Team Free Skull, or Fire Skull rather, from Team FSG, they're more focused on trying to prevent that from happening by Team 6. They realize they're in a bit of a sandwich situation here. It's going to be a matter of pressing W at the right place at the right time, and they're going to do it inside this house. Pikachu, well, he's still standing. Fire Skull is going to go down. Looks like they're not even going to be able to win this 2v2 over here, because Jisoo and Dragon are certainly making him work for it. Pikachu's going to try to get the last knock, but he's not going to be successful. Jisoo turns around, lands a few shots, and then the zone eliminates him. And in the meantime, Team 6 are like, thank you very much. Those are going to be easy pickings for us. And you just gave us some free kill points. Well, 4 teams remain now, only 7 players alive, which means there is one man squad, and CG Pirates, the one with the one-man squad, are going to be eliminated. Now it's going to be a 2v2v2 Mexican standoff, Crips. And let's see who is it that fires first.
Well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? Because you are still getting that shawarma. The team that I was rooting for embarrassed me in a very silly way, because they died in such a silly way. And yeah, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Well, let's hope the teams are able to still able to put up a great performance, and we will still see that team again tomorrow. But for now, in this classic Mexican standoff, team number 6 actually has a very central position, so they can actually be a little comfortable because they have more area to work with, and they can take solace in the fact that team 9 and 5 have to fight each other first, because they will be the ones pressured by the zone. On the knock, knocks out Stuju, and Joyal now has a big battle to fight. On the knock and Hex Apple, they are trying to pick up 2 fights at once, and team number 6 is very keen on finishing this game just now. They really want to make sure that Joyal can't get his teammate up. And if they stay in this position, they won't be able to do so. But Yogi's going in for the kill, Floki. He's going in up close and personal. Oh no, he gets knocked out by Anurag himself. That backfired.
Oh boy, that is not going to be very comfortable. But look at that, his teammate is actually going to be able to help him out there. Yogi, though, it's too late to revive him because the zone is going to start closing in, Crips. Now it's going to be a 2v1, Joyal and Stiluj. Well, the firing squad... Oh no, it's actually Stuju. Yeah, the firing squads here, it's going to be 2v1, Gumnam. Well, if his name is true, then he is indeed... gonna be without a name by the end of this, but if he actually makes his way inside the circle, which he does, he's gonna be able to win the booyah with the 1v2. You know, we've often spoken about how powerful the double barrel shotgun is, but this guy did it with the Mag 7. And I have to say, after seeing him use that weapon, I'm gonna try it out in my own mode. I'm gonna try it out in Classic and see for myself how strong that weapon really is.
Good stuff there by Gumnam, managing to pick up 6 kills, leading Team Marcher to victory. Now, Gumnam definitely has made a name for himself, so he probably can't hold on to it for longer. But we will see him again tomorrow up against several teams who have qualified today, and hopefully he will be able to put up a great performance over there as well. Wounded Lions come in second, Team He came in third. And what happened to the team that I was rooting for? What happened to Annie and N? They had some really nice performances at the start where N was able to squad wipe an entire team all by himself, and then they took up the better compound over as well. So I thought they would have an advantage, but then the circle moved a little towards factory and their position was nulled out. Although because they were still on the edge, I assumed they will win, but they just embarrassed themselves in a very stupid way. Either way, this battle also was a comedy of errors.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, this was the weirdest battle I've seen in my whole life. You know, that decision by Mahi to go up there, deploy glue wall, and try to get the teammate up, and then Ram ends up dropping down again, and the glue wall comes up on top. I mean, to be fair to Mahi, in that position, I don't think you can actually glue wall the ground. Like, it's actually physically not possible to do so. You know, maybe it was, but it would require a lot of time for him to be able to aim that perfectly. And in that situation, I mean, when you're getting swarmed by 2 players, you perhaps don't have the time to aim it perfectly and lay it down. And I have to say, you know, this is why in duos mode it's so important to play off of each other, to play off of information, and to be nearby each other. At very least, you know, be in each other's sidelines, because you can then at least take a trade or throw out some cover for your teammate and then revive him if need be. If you don't stay in each other's sidelines, then it can be very difficult for the other person to provide you with any sort of help whatsoever. I mean, you know, glue walls can be dropped, people can be revived, but yeah, if you're not going to be in each of the sidelines, you know, that none of those things end up happening, because you're just not going to see your teammate being knocked down. You're just not going to see where the enemy is, and you're not going to be able to make the right decision because you don't have the info.
Yeah, information matters quite a lot, and that's why I picked that team, because that compound gives you a lot of information, but they were still not able to capitalize on it. So, how does it even matter? Information can only help you so much. You need to put it into action. And this time, Gumnam, he did not have any information, he did not have any cover as well, but he just boldly dashed across that massive stretch of nothingness towards a tree where there was a glue wall. He put up one more just so that he can get inside the zone, and somehow managed to clutch that 1v2. That was indeed very impressive. Look at Stuchu, he was so disoriented when Gumnam literally went right past him and forced him to turn 180 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, turning 180 degrees can be a bit of a problem, especially if you're playing on low sensitivity, so I can understand the pain he was in. But Gumnam being able to go inside and clutch it out, man, that made my day. The way he took that 1v2 in fashion, I think we saw a team with the name Dabang earlier on, but I have to say Gumnam is the person who's really Dabang. Because even in English, they call themselves macho guys. So, you know, they certainly are doing justice to their name for the time being. But, yeah, they're going to have to continue to do justice to their name tomorrow as well, Crips, because that is when they're going to be fighting for a cash prize of, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 or 7,000 rupees, depending on what is it that they set their eyes on. If they want to make it to the playoffs, they need to get to the top 2. But if you guys want to find out if the Dabang boys or the macho guys actually make it to the top 2, you're gonna have to tune in tomorrow, because we are done for the day. आज के लिए बस इतना ही दोस्तों. आप देख रहे हैं MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters 2021 powered by JioGames. मेरा नाम है फ्लोकी, मेरे साथ है क्रिप्स, और कल हम वापस आएंगे आपके पास 9 गेम्स के साथ, 3 बेस्ट 3 के साथ. तो आप ये पेज बुकमार्क करके रखिएगा, और आप ध्यान में रखिए कि कल हम लोग वापस से 3 बजे लाइव जाने वाले हैं. तब तक के लिए सायोनारा.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone, across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about